So if you have the ability to haul water, this is the answer to washing your clothes. It's awesome. And anybody can use this. You can use this with a small 200-watt system, a couple hundred amps of battery storage, and you can wash your clothes just like anybody else. But this is light years ahead of a bucket and a plunger. This is a lot easier in my opinion, and it's very thorough. It's kept my clothes clean. I can't tell you how happy I am with this.
So hello everyone, welcome back to our next video. We've been visiting with Randy, but we're going to do a video with him of his washing machine. Yes, he has a washing machine in a cargo van, and it's amazing, and I want you all to see it and learn from it. And show us your washing machine.
One of the challenges I found with van dwelling when I started approximately 4 years ago was I personally didn't like the challenge of having to go find a laundromat and then actually having to deal with the inconsistency of finding good equipment. So you spend a lot of money, you wait many hours to use a washing machine, etc. So I chose to buy my own RV sized washing machine so I would have the flexibility of being able to wash my clothes at camp and not have to go anywhere. 4 amps when it's running, and I can do wash, rinse, and spin in under a half hour.
Oh wow, that's fast.
Okay. This particular one is stamped. It's called Costway, a rinse cycle and a spin cycle. So it does smaller loads than a traditional house would, but we do not generally have the same load requirements living out on the road. It has the ability to separate water on its spin cycle so well that you don't need a dryer. I can hang my clothes up and they're dry within a half hour, especially in arid climates. So this is the little spin tub here.
And you said it was Costway.
Yeah, this brand is called Costway. You have the ability to hook up to water inlet system or something. You can hook it directly up to it and leave it permanent.
For those with an RV.
Yes. Or you can fill it just with a bucket of water. And I chose the versatility of just filling the tubs up with water.
So you just pour water in?
I just pour water in it.
Well, that's easy.
Yep. And average load can run 3 to 5 gallons of water. So every cycle, there's 2 cycles that require water on this. Wash cycle and rinse cycle. 3 gallons typically, I can wash 4 shirts, I can wash 4 t-shirts, I can wash 6 socks and wash underwear in one load. Jeans, you can only wash them, if you're lucky enough, you can wash 4 socks, 1 pair of underwear, and 1 pair of jeans. Jeans, being mostly that they're cotton and they're heavy, is a lot for the machine. So yes, you're going to use 5 gallons of water with a load of jeans and a couple of socks. 3 to 5, depending on how big, of shirts and whatever else. So I use approximately 20 to 30 gallons every 2 weeks of doing laundry for my needs.
But you have a huge tank.
Yes, so with my build of the trailer and the van, I built in the idea when I was building all this to have extra water storage. So I have 42 gallons of water at my disposal because I knew I would be washing my own clothes. But I was willing to deal with the extra storage issue and weight issues of carrying water because I liked the freedom of doing my own laundry at my own camp, wherever I'm parked.
Now, this happens to be your shower.
Yes. So this is
not even usually a whole lot of space.
So this is small enough. I can, if I do not want to see, if I don't want other people, because some people, when you're camped in different places, some campers might take offense to that you're washing your clothes and they, God knows what they're thinking, okay? So if you want privacy, I can wash my clothes behind my closed doors. I can wash them in my shower stall. This is the water drain to it. So after each cycle, you drain your water. So I just drain it into the tank, and it goes into my wastewater tank below. So you run your wash cycle, and it's a fairly manual machine. But this is light years ahead of a bucket and a plunger. Okay, because a lot of people are washing their clothes with a 5-gallon bucket and whatever. to do it in an emergency. This is a lot easier in my opinion, and it's very thorough. It's kept my clothes clean I can't tell you how happy I am with this. You got a wash cycle and a rinse cycle. So you got switches that tell you, that depending on what you want to do. You got a normal cycle and then you got drain. So if you're washing, whether you wash and rinse, you put it on the normal cycle, and that's what activates the tub and agitator. And then when you're done with each cycle, so it has 2 water cycles, one for wash, one for rinse. So at the end of each cycle, you drain it. So if I run it in here, so first thing I want to do is I'm hooked up to power. That's hooked up to my inverter, so I have AC power.
So this is an AC item.
It's an AC item. So you open it like any washing machine, and I'm going to load it with a few clothes. I use biodegradable soap, and this brand is Mrs. Meyer's, and it clearly states on here that it's environmentally friendly. It only uses natural ingredients and it's biodegradable. So it gives me the option to use this and dump the water outside if I want to, or I can choose to store it in my gray water tank and dispose of it later. So all I do is, and it doesn't take hardly any soap at all. So I just barely, I mean, it just barely uses any soap. So I just dump water in.
So what was that, a gallon? Maybe 2?
2 gallons of water.
2 gallons of water.
But I don't have a lot of stuff in there. This is just purely to show everybody. But you can fill it up as high as you want with water. It's got a timer. So these are just, if anybody's familiar with the term, it's an egg timer. It's a manual egg timer. Okay, they're just timers. These increments don't necessarily mean that they're accurate as far as this may or may not be 3 minutes. Okay, it's just a number. I can do almost all my wash. I've gotten it down so I don't use as much electricity. I can do most washes between the number 9 and number 6. Just turn it on.
Oh wow.
And
wow, that's a lot of agitation.
and look how dirty it got immediately.
Very cool. And so you probably experimented with how much you could get away with putting in, and you just watched it to see how well it struggled.
Yeah, it's definitely a hands-on where you learn real quick how much water versus how big your load is. So it's important to always have at least 3 to 4 inches more water than clothes. So when you're loading it, you want to make sure that you submerge your clothes at least by 4 inches of water on top of it, because it'll agitate better. So if you have the ability to haul water, this is the answer to washing your clothes. It's awesome. And anybody can use this. You can use this with a small 200 watt system, a couple hundred amps of battery storage, and you can wash your clothes just like anybody else.
And you can do a small load because it's effortless. You just throw the stuff in.
This only takes me, yeah, like I said, I can do I can do wash, rinse, and a spin in under a half hour on a load. And the spin cycle spins so well, it pulls, I'm not kidding you, it pulls 95% of the water out of your clothes already. I mean, the clothes are just barely damp to the touch. I mean, there's no water left. It's just, it's so dry that you can hang them up anywhere, however you want to configure hanging your clothes out, and you can have dry clothes in under 20 minutes. So you don't need we don't need to spend money for a dryer, the electricity and the hassle of having a dryer. The nice thing about doing this here is not so much that I'm such an introvert and I don't want to be around people. It's that I have flexibility that I can go do other things in my camp. I can go cook. If I'm lazy, I can go take a nap. I mean, I can go take the dog for a walk. I mean, this opens up huge opportunities for our freedom. So for me, a little extra water storage, you have complete freedom. Hi, so we've just completed a wash and rinse cycle on my washing machine, and we're going to do a spin cycle. And the spin cycle on this little washing machine is, in my opinion, superb, because it really truly does separate almost all the water out of your clothes. So we're going to run the spin cycle right now.
The clothes are still inside.
Yep, we're going to we're going to drain the water from all the duck and stuff that it has separated. And I'm going to show you that right now.
Okay.
So this is the water, this is the dirt and the hook that is separated. So then we just take this out and we put this in. Let me get the... So that's the spin tub. And you put this down because it helps, when it spins, it helps compress the clothes. And you just close the lid. So normally we would do a wash cycle like I just did. We would repeat the same cycle and call it the rinse cycle.
Except
so
you just wouldn't put soap in.
No soap, just the same amount of water, 3 gallons of water, and then that would separate all the soap and whatever residues left.
Okay.
So 2 cycles with water, and then this last one is just spin dry. We leave it on drain because we want the separated water to come out. So now it's spinning and it's separating the water out of the clothes.
And that's a lot of water.
It will be, yeah, it'll be more. For demonstration purposes, we did not put in all the water or a big enough load. But this just shows you that it's going to separate.
Well, I make it a point out here to wear my clothes longer than I normally
And I
would.
do as well. Our needs are different out here. So it all depends on how much you want to do. Well, it starts out a little violent as far as it will center itself and balance itself in the first 10 seconds. But once it centers, it will not, I mean, it's this quiet throughout. And then you just open it up. And yeah, check this out. I mean, really.
Yeah, that's very, very dry.
This makes drying clothes effortless.
You could not wring any water out of it.
No, you could not. It does the wringing for you. Not to knock the bucket method, okay? So I just don't have the patience or the strength in my hands to do what it takes to do the bucket and the plunger method. So for me, the luxury of having this was a great replacement for doing laundry on the road. This just makes it so much easier. And it really doesn't take up a lot of room. I can lay this sideways. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be upright when you're transporting it. I mean, look folks, I mean, this is just crazy light. I mean, it's nothing.
Well, you said you will often do it outside.
Yes, I can put this outside. I can run it off the van only. I can put it wherever I want, if I want privacy to do my laundry.
Well, show us how light it is.
Yeah.
You mind lifting it out?
Yeah, no worries. So, yeah, I'm no He-Man by any means, but you know, I can
You just toss it around.
Yeah, here I can. One hand, you know, under 10 pounds.
Under 10 pounds.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's around 10 pounds.
Wow.
It's been reliable so far. I've had it 8 months and almost 50 loads I've run through it. To me, was a given. And if I had to replace it once a year because it broke, I would gladly spend it. I value this at one of the top 5 that I'd have to have traveling.
Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us. It's just amazing. But you've converted me.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Randy. I really appreciate your sharing that with us. I think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah, it's funny, and you're going to have some varied opinions about it, but right. For me, it's been a lifesaver. So.
Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've learned something. Like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll visit with you later.